This is a carousel, and it's different from others, is it not?
Yes, it's very much different from other ones across the country. This is a carousel that's very specific, we think, to Los Angeles and to California.
There are a lot of creatures, none of which I would say would be the usual creature for a carousel.
No, what we have here are a lot of endangered species animals that the Los Angeles Zoo has in its collection, and also some other favorite animals of people from all over, plus some very whimsical creatures.
If I were to walk around this carousel today, how many creatures would I see?
I think there are about 66 animals on the carousel and a couple of benches. One of them is a disabled access bench so that everyone can enjoy the carousel.
Well, we're having another carousel ride in Los Angeles at the LA Zoo, and one of our favorite animals is here. Mine would be the giraffe, but there are like 66 creatures. And a lot of kids here, and mothers who are with their kids enjoying a good time at the zoo. How did you decide which animals would make it in the final cut here?
Well, that was sort of a fun thing to consider and debate, and we had a lot of dialogue about it. We had a lot of fun. Again, we wanted animals that were from our collection, but we also wanted to be representative of all types of animals. So you'll find a clownfish on the carousel, which we do not have here at the Los Angeles Zoo, but you're also going to find some very different types of animals as well.
I guess I saw a unicorn, is that right?
Yes, you did see a unicorn, and again, a little bit of whimsy, but also when we were considering what's endangered, we were reminded that the imagination is endangered, so perhaps a unicorn's very fitting for that.
Now, all of these creatures aren't endangered, are they?
No, not all of them are endangered, but a great many of them are.
And many of them you have here at the zoo, I believe.
Many of them we do have here at the zoo.
Like the bear and the giraffe.
Yes, the bear and the giraffe and the Asian elephant and quite a number of other animals.
The unique design of the Conservation Carousel brings together dozens of species. Each animal was handcrafted by a company in the Midwest, which spent a great amount of effort into making each piece an original artistic expression. I understand that you made a trip to observe where these fellows were made, is that right?
Yes, the manufacturer of the carousel is in Mansfield, Ohio. It's Carousel Works. It's a family-owned business, and they have brought back the art of making carousels. As you'll notice, all of the animals are hand-carved, hand-painted, and they're quite beautiful, and going to their workshop was quite a wonderful experience.
I imagine that the time involved with 66 animals, hand carving and all that, would take a good deal of time. How long did it take from the concept to where we are today?
Well, for us, it took about 2 years from concept to actually operating it. We did go through a design process and discussion, and we did a lot of conversations back and forth with Carousel Works and a lot of planning for this site, particularly where we were going to put it, because as you'll see, it's cantilevered out over the side of a hill overlooking the new reptile house. So it did take a little bit of time, but the actual installation of the carousel itself, once it was constructed in Ohio and shipped here, the actual installation only took a few days.
There's something else that's rather unusual, and that's the music that goes with all of this.
Well, the major donor for the carousel is are Ann and Jerry Moss, and as you know, Jerry Moss was the founder of A&M Records with Herb Alpert, and Jerry and Ann were very involved in bringing this to fruition, and one of the joys of working with them was that Jerry personally programmed the music for us, so all of the music is from the A&M catalog. You're going to hear the Carpenters and Sting, and some other wonderful artists. And we're really thrilled about that because, again, we think it brings a different aspect to this carousel that really talks a little bit more about who we are as Angelenos and as Californians.
The inner perimeter of the carousel boasts another artistic expression, an original painted mural with animals displayed in atypical environments.
Well, our mural is a bit different than you might find on some other carousels across the nation in different zoos. What we wanted to do with our carousel was really give a sort of a picture of who we are as Californians. And as you know, Californians come from all over the world, and so do the animals at the zoo in a way. They are representative of animals from across the world, and we thought it would be fun, rather than showing them in their native habitats on our mural, to show them across the California landscape. So that's what we've done. You'll find the giraffes in Malibu.
I don't see too many animals in Hollywood, but I know there are some.
Well, there must be, but certainly we have them across the landscape, and as the mural turns on the carousel, it goes from day to night.
You know, these animals are not frightening at all. They all seem to have some sort of grin on their face. Is that intentional?
Yes, that was very much intentional. Again, as we were working on the designs for the carousel and we were speaking with Ann Moss, one of the things she reminded us is that often carousels, you'll see the animals have their mouths open and their teeth showing, and she said, let's think about this. The audience for a carousel is a 3-year-old, so let's make them very user-friendly. And so we decided to have them all smiling.
With all of the talk about the new carousel behind us, it is finally time to take a spin ourselves. And we are joined by a group of youngsters, many of whom are enjoying their very first carousel ride. And based upon what we saw, it was a memorable experience, certain to be cherished for a long time. Well, then what has been the reaction from the children?
Oh, the children love the carousel, and it's very exciting to see them run to pick out the animal that they want to ride. They love the praying mantis, they love the giraffe, and they also like that unicorn. So it's pretty exciting, and most heartening to me also as a parent is to watch, for instance, a mother and child on the child's first carousel ride. That it's very touching to watch the parent watch the child enjoy the ride so much. And that's what we're really hoping for, is again to support the zoo, but to create new family memories while giving the message underneath that conservation of animals is very, very important to our world.
Now, if you were to pick out one of these animals, which would be your favorite?
Well, my favorite would be probably one of the bears. There's specifically one where the saddle has a painting on it of the bears against the mountains, and it reminds me very much of Wyoming, which is a place I particularly love, and it's very exciting.
I do want to ask you the difference between the Los Angeles Zoo and what your organization does.
Well, the Los Angeles Zoo, of course, is the city department, and the job of the zoo is, of course, to present the animals at the zoo and to make the zoo available to the general public. The Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association was founded in 1963 in advance of the Los Angeles Zoo opening. We're a private nonprofit corporation, and our job was to help to bring the animals to the zoo and build community support. And now we do a great deal of fundraising, and we help make exhibits possible here at the zoo. We actually work alongside our colleagues at the zoo, and of course this specific project was meant to bring new support for the zoo.
This is really kind of a pet project, isn't it?
Yes, obviously, I've enjoyed this very, very much, as have my colleagues. So we're very thrilled to bring it to the public.
To relive the childhood thrill of your very first carousel ride, or to introduce your kids to the same experience, don't miss the Conservation Carousel, now turning heads at the Los Angeles Zoo in Griffith Park.